Hello everyone, it's Nick with Green Bay Metro Fire, and today we're going to talk briefly about carbon monoxide detectors, shooting a video with Google Glass here. We get a lot of questions from people asking us about these detectors, and if you didn't know, Wisconsin state law, or the Wisconsin code changed in 2011 that requires a carbon monoxide detector on every level of the home if the home has a fuel burning appliance. So that's for 1 and 2 family residential homes. And a fuel burning appliance is simply if you have a furnace that runs on natural gas, or a water heater that runs on natural gas or propane, or you have a fireplace that burns wood or natural gas. Those are the types of things that would qualify as a fuel burning appliance. So you need to have these in your home regardless of when your home was built. So if it was built in 1951, you have to have one on every level. One of the biggest questions we get is, what is the best brand? What's the ones that you recommend? And you can see here I have a First Alert brand carbon monoxide detector, which is a good brand, as well as the other brands that are out there. Kidde is another big brand. As long as the detector is UL listed, like this one is, it's a little tough to see, but it's got a UL certification right there. It doesn't really matter. They're tested to all the same specifications. So if you had 2 detectors by different manufacturers in the same room with the same level of carbon monoxide, they should both sound at the same time. So the other point to bring up is there's different types of CO detectors, or I guess different ways that you can power them. This one is a plug-in only, so it simply plugs into the wall. There's also ones that have a plug like this, get their power from the wall outlet, as well as have a battery backup in case the power goes out. There's battery only ones, depending on your situation. If you don't have a plug nearby, that might be an option for you. So there's a multitude of choices for you out there. I myself prefer something that I don't have to mess with regularly, don't have to worry about changing the batteries. I live in an area that the power does not go out real often, so having to be without power and carbon monoxide protection isn't something that I have to worry about too often. Another thing that we recommend when you put these into your home is write the date that they need to be replaced. These are good for typically 7 years is the norm right now. This year they finally came out with a 10-year carbon monoxide detector. So if you write that date on there, it's going to give you a heads up as to when you need to replace it, get yourself a new one. I'm going to show you what sound this makes. And we get a lot of calls, people saying, they call 911, they say, my carbon monoxide detector is going off. We go there as a fire department to check things out, and in actuality, their detector isn't going off. It's making other noises to let you know that something's wrong with the detector. So here's what the detector makes, the noise it makes when you have an actual carbon monoxide problem. So what you could do is just give your detector power, and they all make the same noise. Hold the test button. So that noise is what's referred to as a beep. It's very loud. It hurts my ears. These detectors also make chirps, or a series of chirps, a much more subtle noise to let you know that something's wrong with the detector. That noise that you just heard will continue sounding, and that is, again, letting you know that you have a problem with carbon monoxide in your home. You have elevated levels and you need to get out. The chirps, the more subtle sounds, are letting you know, for instance, the battery's low, it needs to be replaced. The detector has reached its end of life and needs to be replaced, or there's something wrong with the detector, and again, it needs to be replaced. So those chirps, very subtle. You're going to be looking around for them, like, where in the world is that coming from? It makes the same chirping noise that a smoke alarm would make. Unfortunately, they happen usually in the middle of the night, wake you up, and you spend a lot of time looking around for what's going on. So that's a differentiation between both of those. And then last but not least, I'll cover, what do you do when these go off? What are you supposed to do? Well, what we'd like people to do is get out of your house. Keep all of the doors and windows closed. We go to a lot of homes where people try to air out their homes before we get there. Yes, that's making the environment safer for you, but it makes it very difficult for us to try to pinpoint where the problem is. So we come in with very sensitive sniffing equipment, so to speak, and we can go around to your water heater and your furnace and look for those elevated levels. Well, if you've aired out your house, it's difficult for us to find what's causing the carbon monoxide issue. So I hope this answers some of your questions. And if you have any more additional questions, just hit us up on Facebook or tweet us. Thank you much. Have a good day.